Welcome, sports fans! Another episode of the PB&Z Sports Chaos, your weekly sports sandwich. And this week, we are fueled by a year with Dr. Nandu from Aeronaut Brewers in Somerville, Mass., which you've been to, right?
I have. It's a great brewery. Nice place. If you get a chance to check it out, it's in Somerville.
Love it. Ooh, good tasting beer. All right, let's get right into it. This week, our agenda, we got a good one for you folks. We're going to talk Gronk. Big week for him. NCAA, we're going to talk a little Frozen Four in March Madness. And then we're going to wrap it up with our MLB Sox preview. All right, let me get right into it. First 2-minute update for you this week. We got a little NBA. So, NBA action. Giannis and the Bucks. Giannis hurt his ankle Thursday night. Scoring a layup on the way back, he cheap shotted the guy, sprained his ankle, got knocked out of the game. I hope you're out of the playoffs for that, you punk. All right, moving on. Celtics. I cannot believe this. Celtics are 11-3 without Kyrie. They're on pace to be the potential 4th seed. They won against the Indiana Pacers the other night. Then they lost last night, but they're still in a situation to be 4th seed. But here's what I say about the Celtics. They are probably the most dysfunctional Boston team since the Globe and the Herald picked the Red Sox in 2011, the beer and wings team, right? Right? The Herald actually called them the best team in baseball in the spring that year, ever.
Do you think that's a function of Brad Stevens? I mean,
more to come on that when the season wraps up eventually. I think Brad Stevens must go. But anyways, moving on. NHL, the Bruins are still plugging along. They're going to hold on to the 2nd seed. Marchand looks like he's going to get 100 points. We talked about this, the first Bruins since 2002, 2003. That's unbelievable. Good for him. NFL, Craig Schiano, we hardly knew you, brother. Hired in February, steps down the other day for the defensive coordinator role. What happened? I don't know. Who knows, right? That's like,
Belichick stint the Jets.
Yes, exactly. Belichick stiffing the Jets, right? Thank for us, that's for sure. And the other big news, the rules changes. Pass interference and non-calls can now be challenged by coaches, right?
That's the Saints rule.
The Saints rule. Almighty Saints, you guys got something pulled off. Way to go, Sean Payton. Unbelievable. Hey, by the way, the other thing I just want to talk about real quick. Cliff Kingsbury. What are you thinking, Cliff? You are now going to have cell phone breaks during team meetings? What is this world going to? 30 minutes into a team meeting, you're now going to say, hey, boys, take your cell phones out. We're going to have a 10-minute break on Instagram. What? Unbelievable. And the last thing before we get into our agenda, I saw a shot last week by Tiger Woods. Tiger hit a ball under a rose bush about 40 feet away from the hole. He had to go over to that rose bush, get down on his hands and knees, left-handed, pulled his club out, turned it over upside down, and hit the ball from underneath that rose bush, left-handed, within 4 feet of the hole. When I golf, which I suck at, every week I hit that shot 18 feet, 18 holes. I can never make it. Good for Tiger. All right, PB, you have a little fun fact for this week. What is this fun fact for us this week around NFL Hall of Famers?
Yes. So for the Hall of Fame, we had someone actually post on our page.
Thank you.
Which team has the most representation in Canton, which is where the Football Hall of Fame is. So we did the research.
This surprised me. Go ahead, tell me.
Yeah, so number 1 overall is the Chicago Bears.
The Bears
with 33. Next in line after that, you have a tie with the Giants and the Redskins.
The Giants and the Redskins?
Yeah, with 31. 31 apiece.
I can't even name 5 between the two teams, but go ahead.
And then you had the Rams and the Packers with 30.
The Rams? I can't even name 3 Rams other than Merlin Olsen, maybe, but other than that.
And then, Jack Youngblood, maybe. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, I can't. I mean, I definitely couldn't.
Where's the AFC? Those are all NFC teams.
Right. So, of course, the NFC's been around longer, right? The old NFL.
Correct.
Right. So, you have in your top 10 just 2 AFC teams. That would be the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, I can see that. Those are legitimate. I agree with those. All right. Wow. Interesting stuff. All right. Moving on. This week, big news came out about some retirements in the world of sports. First, the iconic Conor McGregor retired from MMA. Unbelievable. And locally, Rob Gronkowski, the Gronk, retired from the NFL. What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, I look at Gronk and his, we knew this was coming at some point.
We talked about this on some episodes back, and we both said We think he's going to stick around for
We
one more.
thought he
right?
was going to stick around. We coming off the championship and the
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl,
championship,
coming
the
off
high,
with,
yep.
we with Brady hanging in there, Belichick hanging in there. You figured maybe he'd go for another one or two, right? But we don't know what his body feels like when he wakes up every morning, right? And what his health is like. And we knew he was like 50-50. So
Well, as long as he keeps doing this, I'm sure he's feeling pretty good.
yeah. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised,
Okay.
and I'm happy for him. I'm sad as a fan, but I'm happy for Gronk.
Hall of Fame, what do you think? So I will tell you this. The minute I heard the news, I tweeted a friend of mine, is he a Hall of Famer? And both of us said the same thing. 9 years, that's not enough. But what do you think?
I first ballot, 5 years, he'll be in.
First ballot. All right. You know what? And as I thought more about that, here's what I looked up and heard about or read about from him. Stats-wise, let's just talk about Pat's stats. He's fourth in receptions. He's second in yards all time to Stanley Morgan. Can you believe it? He still holds the record for yardage? Unbelievable. First in TDs. He has 5 Pro Bowls and 4 All-Pro seasons. From an all-time perspective, he has 4 1,000-yard seasons. That's tied for first for tight ends. And he's number 1 in tight end touchdowns.
Yeah. And he did that all in 9 years.
In 9 years. Here's another thing. Did you know there's only 8 tight ends in the Hall of Fame?
Wow, I didn't know that.
So there's this thing out there that the league has. It's called the approximate value. Everybody has it, not just Hall of Famers, right? So the approximate value, or the AV, of the 8 Hall of Famers, Gronk is the 3rd highest at 82. I could not believe the 2 guys ahead of him. Shannon Sharp, who could not, you said blocking, he could not block Gronk's mother, for Christ's sake, right? And Jackie Smith, great tight end, I love the guy, but never made an all-pro team. It's unbelievable.
And that's the thing. You look at Gronk and his ability to block. When he was not catching passes, he had such an impact on what happened on that field.
Do you remember that one block he had against the Colts where he blocked the guy in the end zone all the way into the stands?
He was an unbelievable blocker. That's the reason you look at him as a football player. Hands down, he's the best tight end ever.
So let me ask you these 2 questions. First impression of Gronk and most lasting impression of Gronk. What do you have?
On or off the field?
Yeah, it's a good one. But whatever. What do you think?
Well, I think of Gronk off the field. I just think
agree.
of like this big, humble, character that had
Character's a good
big
word.
smile on his face.
That's right.
His tongue was always hanging out of his mouth, and he was just someone that was just so charismatic. And it's like, hey, I want to hang out with him.
Right.
So off the field, that's what I think about. On the field, I loved his seam routes. You knew those were coming,
That's
2
my
or 3 a
pick.
game, and you knew that Brady was going to lay it in there. But for a tight end to take off down the seam like that and go up and get the ball the way he did, I just think that was very impressive on the field.
I agree that the seam route, 30 yards down the field, catching the ball at 260. Back in the 80s, guards were 260, and here's a tight end catching the ball 35 yards down the field.
Yeah.
And that, of course, obviously, what was his key one? Against the Rams, right?
I get
Seam
that.
route.
Yeah, that was classic.
You know what my other memory is? It was my first memory of Gronk. His very first touchdown. He spiked that goddamn ball 30 yards in the air, and that became his trademark. And I'm like, I was watching with a couple of guys, and I go, did you see that? They go, yeah, the touchdown. I go, no, the spike. Did you see that spike? Unbelievable. All right, we're moving on. Gronk, we love you, Hall of Famer. I say you're right.
That's a good trip in 5 years, right?
Oh, Canton, here we
Go out to
come.
Canton,
Big
watch-
party. Oh,
watch
with the
some
Gronk
Dustin.
brothers.
Oh, yeah.
All right, PB, before we get to the NCAA, you have a little trivia for us this week on the NCAA.
Yeah, I do. Which 3 schools were represented in both the basketball and hockey tournaments?
And I was stymied with this one. I said Michigan, Iowa, which you corrected me, doesn't have a team, and Syracuse, which who knew Syracuse doesn't have a hockey team? They're the northernmost college in America, for crying out loud. But anyways, who are they?
So Ohio State was one of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Big
See
fan.
that? Yep. And then Arizona State.
Arizona's. They're on the freaking West Coast. They have a hockey team in the NCAA. Wow.
In
Okay.
the desert, hockey in the desert. So
Hockey
yeah,
in
you
the
got
desert.
you got Arizona State who got in on a playing game
Yep.
as an 11 seed in basketball, and then they made it in hockey as well, and got eliminated in the first round in both. And another team that made it in both and also got eliminated in their first round games in both is our boys down the street in Northeastern.
Oh, the Huskies. How did I forget?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, moving on. Let's talk a little NCAA basketball. All right. So most of our brackets are blowing up. I know mine is. I had picked North Carolina, lost on Friday night. Tennessee and Michigan lost on Thursday night. So my bracket is busted. I still have Duke, though, to win it all. Who's the leader in that pool?
Oh, it's Charlene, far and away. She's just cruising along. She not only leads the pool, but she's got the highest max left, and she's got the potential to have 3 of her Final Four if Duke and Kentucky win today. So
I would never have thought that. I
yeah.
had 15 of 16 going into this week 16. Charlene,
yeah,
congratulations.
she's probably going to win. I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point, but congrats, Charlene. Good job.
I will say this. What I want to see is Zion versus Kentucky at this point in time. I think that'll be the most fun. The 2 blue bloods. Let's bring it on. All right. Hey, I have a little basketball trivia or fun fact for us this week.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know, 40 years ago, this week, the most, still to this day, watched NCAA basketball game is what? It took place 40 years ago this week.
Wow. I'm going to have to say it's something to do with the Bird era, maybe, right?
Bird versus Magic.
Oh.
Michigan State versus Indiana State. You are correct. The Bird era. That started the whole trend for the NBA to become very popular once again once those 2 boys came into the NBA. But that's still, to this day, the most watched NCAA game.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We are moving on. We've got a little bit of MLB coming up. And this, by the way, is my pool.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do some NCAA hockey, though, too.
Oh, NCAA hockey. Yes, yes. Go
let's
ahead.
do some hockey. So in the NCAAs, we have our Final Four. 2 of the 4 teams are set. UMass, who took care of Harvard in the first round 4-0. And
UMass.
Yesterday took care of the Fighting Irish.
Yes, I hate the Irish.
Defeated them also 4-0, so they're in. Denver is the other Final Four team, so UMass will go up against Denver. Denver won the tournament 2 years ago.
That's right.
And then today we have Providence. They're going to be playing Clarkson.
Go Friars!
Not Clarkson, I'm sorry. They're playing Cornell.
Okay.
Providence playing Cornell today. And after that, you have Quinnipiac up against Minnesota Duluth. And Minnesota Duluth won the championship last year.
Yeah. I remember that. Okay.
But I think Minnesota Duluth will take care of Quinnipiac. And I do think Cornell is going to take care of Providence. Providence had a great win in their first game.
They did.
They won 6-3. Great comeback. They played Minnesota State. They were down 3-0. They ended up winning 6-3. The big turning point was a third period major penalty. When the game was tied 3-3.
Okay.
So majors, you're out for 5 minutes no matter what. And Providence scored 2 goals in that
during
power
that major.
play. Yeah.
Wow, during that power play.
Yeah.
Wow,
So that was
right.
a turning point in that game. And Cornell looked very impressive. They took care of Northeastern 5-1 in the first round. So,
yeah.
but I do like Cornell. I hope Providence can pull it off, but I do like Cornell in that game. And I'm predicting a Cornell UMass final this year.
Okay.
In the NCAAs.
And by the way, AIC, a local team, the last seed, I think, probably, because they faced the number 1 seed, St. Cloud, opening night, and they beat St. Cloud, right?
Yeah, number 1 overall. That's crazy.
Love it.
Yeah.
Local teams doing well in the Frozen Four. All right. Moving on now. We're going to do a little MLB. Are you ready?
I am ready.
MLB previews. All right. PB, I got to ask you. Sox, were they not dead last in the Grateful League?
They were.
And last year they were first. All right.
Yep.
And they came out of the gate. They were like 20-5 in the first 25 games. Had an unbelievable streak. They got blown out in the first game. I know they lost last year in the first game. Am I crazy? Should I be taking a chill pill yet?
I think you need to take a chill pill.
All right, I got to take a chill pill.
I do. I really do. I mean, it's the baseball season's a marathon, right? They're starting out on the road. They're on the West Coast. I mean, historically, they don't play good out there anyways. I mean, they did get smoked in that first game, but look, the second game they came back, they hit a 3-run homer in the bottom on the top
Mitchie,
of the
2
ninth.
bags, Moreland. I love you, Mitchie.
Yeah, and yesterday they lost by a run. So I'm not going to go there just yet. I want to see how things play out, how injuries play out. I mean, is Sale really going to repeat a performance like he did the other day? If he does, we're in trouble, right? If he goes 4.5
Yeah,
ERA,
we're $145 million in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, if he wins 10, 11 games against 15, 16 losses and has a 4.5 ERA or something like that, that's a bad year. And we're going to be in trouble. Yeah, we'll be in trouble at that point. But just relax. It's a long road ahead. I mean, look at the Yankees. They come out and they win their first game, and then they lose the second game to the Orioles.
The Orioles!
They might not get 50 wins this year. So
Vegas has plus or minus 57 for them.
57. So, I mean,
I say minus.
They're losing. Basically, you're looking at a team that's going to have over 100 losses, and they beat the Yankees.
Okay.
So it's too early. just take.
So give me, what do you think? So, we've heard from the Globe, we heard from SI. I'll talk about that momentarily. But give me PB's picks. What do you think?
Yeah, so I'm going to take the. I'll start down with the American League.
Hey,
I'll
go ahead.
start in the East.
All right, let's hear it.
And I really do think the Yankees and the Red Sox are probably two of the better teams in the American League.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, both lineups and pitching.
I don't like where you're going with this. Okay,
but
go ahead.
Because here's the thing: the bullpen, not necessarily only because Kimbrel's gone, but just the bullpen in general right now. I'm not feeling good enough about it to give them the nod there. So I'm going to predict the Yankees. Shames me to say it, but I am going to predict the Yankees to win the AL East.
Blasphemy! Oh my God!
I will have the Red Sox in as a wild card, but I have the Yankees winning
Okay.
that.
All right. What else you got?
In the Central Division, Cleveland's pitching staff is just so dominant, and their lineup is very
They do
good.
have great pitchers.
But you look down that.
And Tito is a great manager.
Tito's a great manager, and you have Kluber, Bauer, Carrasco, and Clevenger as their top four in that rotation. I just love that rotation. To me, that's hard to beat. I could see them definitely in the American League Championship Series. And then in the West, I'm going to go with Houston. I know it's the obvious pick. Everyone's picking them.
Right.
Their lineup is really, really good.
Yep.
I like Altuve. He's such a scrappy player. He does
I agree.
everything.
I agree.
And then you look at, I think, is the best 1-2 punch in the American League with Verlander and Cole at the top of that rotation.
Okay.
So I'm going Houston in the West.
All right. Well, I have to agree with you.
All right. Moving over to the National League in the East. I think the East in the National League is the strongest division in all of baseball.
Oh, go figure.
You
the
got
Philly homecoming here. Yeah. I'm a Philly homeboy when I'm down there.
Well, you got the Phillies, you got the Braves, you got the Mets, and you got the Nationals. All teams that you could conceivably see potentially making the playoffs. But I'm going to tell you why I like Philadelphia the most.
Okay.
Their rotation, top to bottom, is really, really good. Nola, to me, is a potential Cy Young winner this year. I really like Nick Pivetta, young pitcher. You have Arrieta mixed in there. You have Eflin, who's another good young pitcher. And then finally Velasquez. I think rotation-wise, top to bottom, great staff. Best team, I think, by far in the entire National League, not just in that division.
Whoa.
But I'm not going to discount, teams like the Nationals or the Mets. The Mets, you look at Syndergaard and DeGrom, last year's Cy Young winner. To me, that's probably the best 1-2 punch in the entire National League.
I would agree. I would agree.
But the rest of their staff, their lineup, I'm not going to even put them in the wild card at this point.
Lineup's tough. I agree.
Lineup's tough.
Okay.
Atlanta, they got some. I love Acuna Jr. I think he's a great. He's an MVP candidate type player to me.
Yep.
And then Sean Newcomb, one of their. He's their number 2 pitcher actually.
Wow, you did some homework, Sean Newcomb.
So, yeah, Sean Newcomb. I just like that staff. I like that team. I think they will give Philly some fits from time to time.
Okay.
But I'm clear and above. I like Philly.
All right, Central.
Central, I got the Cubs. I got the Cubs in the Central. Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee's
the boy wonders team.
Yeah,
Okay.
Milwaukee's a strong lineup. I think they have a great hitting lineup. I think Milwaukee will score more runs than Chicago this year. But it's going to come down to the pitching, and I think the Cubs have the better pitching staff there.
Okay.
Of course, our boy John Lester's still there, as you know, right?
Won his second opening day start out of 9.
Yeah, and you got Yu Darvish and Cole Hamels there too. So I mean, they have a really nice starting rotation there. In the West, I'm going to surprise a few people here with this pick, but I really like the Colorado Rockies to win the West.
How many of these have you had?
Just 1.5, and they
Wow.
they're good.
The Rockies! I gotta hear this.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
All right, so here's why. I mean, the Padres they made that big deal with Machado.
By the way, I predict Machado never makes the playoffs again in his career. Go ahead.
I do like their offense. I do like the Padres. I think they're going to score runs this year, something they don't usually do.
That's
but
true,
their
right?
staff, you look at their starting 5. I don't even know one guy on that staff. I really don't. I'm really concerned about their pitching staff. And the Giants and the D-backs, they're not there yet.
Okay.
So the Dodgers, I agree. The Dodgers are going to be a good, solid team. But here's the reason why I'm taking Colorado. I think Arenado and Story as your 3-4 punch is probably could be the top 3-4 punch in the entire Major League.
Well, when they're at home, but when they leave Colorado, though.
Well, the air's thin, but you know.
Yeah.
And I really like their pitching staff. That's what's doing it for me. I think top to bottom, they have the best pitching staff in that division. You got Freeland at the top of that, and I think Freeland is probably the most underrated number 1 pitcher in the entire major leagues. And I think he's going to have a great year.
That's a
I'm-
stretch. All right.
I'm looking forward to
Okay.
what Colorado's going to do this year.
Okay.
So those are my major league predictions.
All right. So give me the playoffs in the World Series.
I'm gonna put Boston in the wild card, and I'm gonna put Tampa in the wild card.
Okay.
Too, in the American League, and we have 3 teams in the AL East there. And despite this isn't going to make logical sense, 'cause I just said the best division is the East.
I'm waiting to hear.
But despite that, because I think they're going to beat up on each other, I really think Milwaukee is a wild card team, and then I'm going to give the edge to LA. I'm on the Atlanta, LA kind of edge there in terms
You
of that second
LA
round.
completely made me not even making the playoffs.
Yeah. Depending on the kind of year Atlanta has, or Milwaukee has, they could keep them out. Right. So that's it. And then I could see an ALCS with Philly. I'm predicting Philly to win the whole thing this year. Philly's going to win the World Series.
Okay.
But I could see Philly up against. I'd like to see him up against Colorado. I think that'd be a great NLCS.
Okay. Philly
And then-
against Colorado, huh?
Yeah, and I think the Yankees are going to get back to the ALCS finally.
Against the Stros.
I think it could be Cleveland or Houston.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then who's the World Series? And who's the winner?
Phillies all the way this year.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. All right.
Which, by the way, I got to give my shout outs. I didn't give my shout outs yet to our out of towners.
How do we forget about?
How do we forget about the shout outs, right? So we have
All right.
we have 104 members now on our site. So we thank you for that. Yes, it's awesome.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, YouTube, Facebook, PB and Z Sports Chaos, and that's PB the letter.
And we have a Twitter page
Z.
now as well.
And we do have Twitter. So a lot of PA. So Dan, Kathy, Tinsay, Mike, and Samuel, all from PA. Welcome and thank you. We love our out of towners. We also have Donna from Denver and Matt from Texas. A couple other out of towners. Also, curling friends. So did a Learn to Curl event last night.
Learn to curl.
Learn to Curl. Met some great people. Jill.
Those my girls.
Jill, Danielle, and Jen all joined our site last night and their fellow curling friends. So thank you, everyone.
Cheers.
You're fans. You guys make it happen for
Hey,
us.
real quick. Here's my prediction. Sox versus Dodgers once again, because when you're the defending champions and you didn't lose anything but your closer, who's not worth 12 games in my opinion. That's what SI has them losing, is 12 more games than last year. I think Sox and the Dodgers. And by the way,
Repeat.
biggest trade of the year, biggest signing, Goldschmidt to the Cardinals. I think he's going to make a huge impact for them. And my biggest rhymes with trick in baseball now, replacing A-Rod, is none other than Alex Bregman. I know you have a fan that loves Alex Bregman. I despise that guy. He is a putt. Bye-bye, Bregman. All right.
Curling front?
Curling front, what do you got?
Oh, last night we tied, which put us into
Like kissing your
a
sister.
4 seed. So we got a 4 seed in the
all
playoffs. We snuck in as the lowest seed. We will be playing the number 1 seed next week in the first round of the playoffs. So go Bucks.
All right. Congrats. Have a great weekend, sports fans. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
Thank you.